Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Good afternoon. This is Bill, Kelly, and Tom, our guest, which we'll introduce in just a bit here, coming to you live from Sip Coffee House in Highland. Kind of excited that Tom is here. We used to actually work together back in the day, right? Like it's so long ago. Oh gosh, how long ago was that?
5-6 years ago.
You notice how we look younger?
Okay,
I
digressed
do.
in age.
I do. Actually, he's a young punk compared to me. Jeez.
And
Welcome.
everybody's a young punk compared to me. Haha.
Yeah, it really. This is Tom Wisch. Tom Wisch is also he owns a insurance agency in Hobart, an all-state agency, and we're going to talk about a bit about what he does, just not with the agency, but this guy is like hyperly involved in the community. And he's began telling us some things off air that we didn't realize, some of the things he does through the agency, and then some of the things he does with. And as you all know, we're extremely supportive of anyone that's supportive of the community and the place where they live. And so we're going to get to you in just a minute, but not that this is more important, but some people do think that this is highly important. In fact, they'd rather us just do this and get off the air. But we got to do the weather. So we're going to get after the weather here. So here we go. Okay, today we have a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon, and we'll get to the graphs and why that is and show you what's happening. It's a increasing percentage right now. We'll get up to 30, 40, possibly 50% before the night is over. But then it's going to be decreasing, and we'll show you why that is. Tomorrow we're going to have a hanging chance of rain all day long. Then it's going to start cooling down. Today it was hot. In fact, I'll show you a graphic that there's actually a warning out. Then this weekend is actually going to be, as Kelly calls it, beautiness.
No,
beautiness. Yeah, no guacamole.
No guacamole. Good.
No guacamole. So,
excellent. Well, isn't Saturday the first official day of fall? It's sometime
The
this
21st.
week.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what the week looks like, the remainder of the week, rather. And again, chance of thunderstorms today, tonight, tomorrow. It is a decreasing amount. Then Friday night it starts clearing up, and Saturday, boy, get out the bike. It's gonna feel like autumn out. It's gonna be in the lower 60s. So take that run, get outside. It's gonna be a
Perfection.
beautiful day. So one of the things today, though, and you could ignore that really graphic from this morning. Today we've got some record highs that we can approach. I think we're looking at, for the Highland area, getting up to 98, which is insane for this type of year. But hold out, it's going to get better. And let's look at the weather maps for the nation. So right now you can see there is the dark green, or as Kelly calls it, the guacamole, is the high probability of precipitation. So up in the Minnesota, Dakota, up in the northern states, we're having a great deal right around, if you look, it's right along the Canadian border, trying to keep those Canadians out. No, why would we do that? They're great people. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So, and that's what we're looking at, high probability. But we have this high pressure area just sitting below the Ohio Valley that is kind of keeping some of that nasty weather up towards the north. So as we look at tomorrow, that high pressure area starts moving in. We still have a high probability, not high, but a medium probability of precipitation in the Chicago area. Then let's look at Saturday. Look at that. The high pressure area moves in, moves everything out to the southwest, and it is going to be beautiness. So let's look at the current radar. This again is a Doppler composite radar from NOAA. What they do is paste all the Doppler images together in the area. So you can see we're not really expecting a whole lot of nastiness, but if you look at northern Wisconsin and Michigan, a lot is going on up there. So if you have travels up in that way, just be cautious. There could possibly be some tornado warnings, definitely some intense thunderstorms. So just be cautious. And you could see that northern pressure, that high pressure area is moving in. Let's look at the national map, and you have a better idea what's happening in the United States. There we have that wall that's up there by the Canadian border, up northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, and so here you could come back to and read this. I don't expect you to read because we got some business to do here. So, but you can come back and read this in a video later on. This is a day-by-day blow all the way up to Wednesday. And that, my friends, is it.
Yay. Ready for a nice weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Due to some technical, interesting things, I don't want to technical difficulties, that's an overused thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to get the event schedules for you, but that didn't happen because of some technical difficulties. So it's been just 2 days of technical stuff.
Difficulties, yeah.
So, but nonetheless, we have Tom here, which is bright sunshine he's bringing to us. So,
I try.
Tom, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Were you born, raised, where you went to school, and tell us a little bit about what brought you to this area and your career.
Okay. I was actually born in Hammond, raised in Lowell, Indiana. Hear the banjos in the background, anybody? Just kidding.
Paddle faster.
No.
Right. No, I'm just kidding. No, I really loved it. And I went to Lowell High School, ended up going to Purdue Calumet, got a degree in elementary education. And prior to that, I got a job at a summer camp for children and adults who were visually impaired. It must be my call. I got a job at a summer camp called Hybrook Lodge near Cleveland, Ohio. It's a summer camp for children and adults with visual impairment. And so I worked with people that were not just visually impaired, but also loss of hearing. Some people were deaf and blind, like Helen Keller. I actually learned sign language through them. Got a class through Deaf Services in Maryville. Met a woman who was deaf from Lowell, and she kind of took me under her wing and taught me sign language. And then I became an interpreter for the deaf while I was in college, and got a job as an elementary teacher in Hammond. Was an elementary teacher there at Wallace Elementary. Nope, I was a principal at Wallace. Caldwell was where I was a teacher. That was in Hessville by the Little Red Schoolhouse. Pretty close here, right up the road.
Yeah.
Teacher there for 9 years, 4th and 5th grade. Absolutely loved working with kids. Became an administrator for the next 9, and loved kids. I don't know how else to- Being an administrator, there were certain aspects of it that were wonderful. Certain aspects of it were just really challenging. But during that time period, I got married. I've got a beautiful wife and 2 wonderful kids, all of whom I couldn't do any of this without. And during that time, we had a house fire. It was about 10 years ago. We got hit by an uninsured motorist when my wife was pregnant. Thank God she did not get hurt. Everything was fine. And then we had a break-in. I came home from school with my boys, and our door was kicked open. And the whole time I had the same agent, and he was wonderful. He was always there for me, responded to, immediately. He was actually at our house the day that our house caught fire. He was there that day. And, it just blew my mind. And that's the kind of effort that I always tried to put in what I did with kids and with camp and with anything like that, because it's all about heart. And as I kind of progressed in being an administrator and just found out that really wasn't the aspect I wanted to do as much as I love kids, I was approached about this opportunity, and I thought, I really do care about people. I want to make sure they have protections, and if they need somebody, I want to be there. So then I became an Allstate agent, and I opened my agency in Hobart 3 years ago as of September. And that kind of brings you up to date as far as...
Yeah, so...
right, the good hands.
The good hands.
Right.
So tell us about becoming an agent. First of all, what products do you offer through your agency?
Sure.
and so on?
Well, we do home, auto insurance, life insurance, retirement products. We also do investments. We also do business insurance. So we do a variety of products. And through the agency, I opened the agency in Hobart, and it's just what a welcoming community. And Mayor Snedeker is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I met him.
Oh, what a great guy.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
So thumbs up to Mayor Snedeker. You're the man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, runs a good outfit out there. And everyone is
Yeah.
very supportive of what their mission is, and he's got from the police department to fire department. Yeah, it's got a great crew. So
Yeah, and he just, I actually heard him speak about announcing his upcoming, that he's going for re-election. And I listened to the man speak, and he got a little misty. I got misty listening to the man. I look next to me, the woman's crying. I'm like, wait a minute, we're at a political function here. Why are people crying? But it was because he has heart in what he does,
Yep.
And that kind of brings me back to my point of, I wanted to have an agency that, not just cared about our clients, but actually gave back to the community. So I had opportunities. Insurance, we have to sell products, right? You have to sell. So there's these companies called lead companies. Lead companies are these things that you go online and you say, hey, I want an auto quote. And they say, we'll find it for you. Next thing you know, you get like 50 phone calls from all these different insurance companies. And it's kind of a tough practice, and people don't always want that many phone calls. And I kind of thought to myself, what can I do differently to still try to generate some leads for my agency, but also give back? So I made a decision to make a donation for every quote we do, and I just changed the organization every 3 months. So it's $5 per quote for home, auto, whatever quote you get. And so we've donated to the American Cancer Society, the Meals on Wheels, who I also volunteer for once a month. And if you have 1 hour a month, volunteer for Meals on Wheels. It's literally an hour and a half of your time. You're bringing meals to people that can't fend for themselves. They need support. And the joy that they're in their faces when you just walk up, hey, I'm Tom, I'm from Meals on Wheels, here you go. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I met a couple that was 97 years old and been married for 77 years? Unbelievable.
Wow.
And just the sweetest people.
That's
But
adorable.
so anyway, we kept changing that, and then I also applied for grants. I'm on the board of directors of the Hobart YMCA, which I love YMCA's. If you have a family, or even if you don't, I know there's all these Planet Fitness and Anytime Fitness and all these different places you can work out, but the sense of community and belonging that you get from belonging to a YMCA is just phenomenal. So I volunteer for them. I coach my kids' teams. I'm also on their board of directors. So I make a donation through them through Allstate. You just apply for a grant. And then through these grants, I've also done where I've gone to schools and talked about the dangers of distracted driving. So every time you do something like that, it's a $1,000 grant. And the more agents I get to apply with me, the more money it brings to that organization. So through the donations we've done for quotes and through the Allstate grants, over the last 3 years, we've donated over $30,000 to the community.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and we also have we're a depository for the local food bank. Our current donation is for the Humane Society. And so every quote we do is a $5 donation to the Humane Society. And, in 3 months, it usually works out to be anywhere between $800 and $1,200, which is better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick.
Absolutely.
And they appreciate anything you can do. And it just also brings awareness to that organization as well, because we're talking about them as we're talking to our clients.
Right.
Or potential
That's
clients.
awesome. So as you're sitting down formulating all these quotes, you let them know, hey, a portion of your dollars are going to these charities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And see, the great thing about it is, even if they don't purchase, we're just quoting them. We're just giving them information, and we're just trying to educate them. And if they make a different choice or want to stay where they're at, it doesn't matter. We still make the donation. So them
wow.
purchasing has nothing to do with
Right.
whether we make the
Just
donation.
giving up
That's okay.
Yeah,
so
it's
you
not their
so
money.
when
It's not their
someone
money,
comes
it's
and
ours.
gets a
Yeah,
quote,
right.
you automatically give to
You got it.
your company's money.
Yeah, every one of my staff members, my salespeople, myself, my customer service person, anybody that calls in, walks in, it's a referral, whomever.
Yeah.
We have the conversation, we jot it down, and we write down how many, whatever it's called, lines of insurance they quote. Home, auto, boat. That's 3. That's $15. So we just keep track of it. And at the end of the 3 months, we make a donation.
Wow, amazing,
Beautiful.
absolutely amazing.
And I wish more companies would do something like that, because you hear that, like they'll do one event a year or something like that. But what if, scary thing, what if everything they did was a percentage donation to something? Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, it would.
Knowing that you purchase from somebody, or even if you don't, they're still going to make a donation. And it just, it's all about heart. Like I said, when I talked about Mayor Snedeker, and just the passion that he has for the city of Hobart, and he's actually, I'm going to say, he's my client. So,
Even better.
I know, right? And but he became our client because he knows that what we do, we care about, and we really do treat our clients as
Well,
family.
you care about the community that he's in charge of.
Yeah.
And what's the win-win?
Exactly. You know, I mean, just as an example, I had somebody call me at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. You know, they had an incident up in Michigan, and they're calling me at 9 o'clock, and I'm going back and forth with them, helping them deal with it on Saturday. I almost drove to Ann Arbor, Michigan to help these people. Fortunately, they were able to work it out. But my point is like, people, if you're going to do something, put your heart into it, right? I mean, you guys do this. You're going to half-heart it? That doesn't make sense. Why do it, you know? So that's what we believe in, you know?
Yeah, that's great, and we'd love to have him on the show sometime, because you remember the cigar shop now that I live over here?
Yeah.
Very good.
Right.
So, yeah, but the interesting thing about him, just to talk about him and we'll move on, is that him and a couple of the police officers frequent there. They go in there in their break and have a cigar, and he's in there but I mean, the level of respect that they have for each other. I mean, that's both two-way street, and it's just something is like, wow. I mean, they're on the pretty awesome team. So, yeah. So folks in Hobart should be very blessed that they have that type of community. So, so talk about some more of the things outside of the agency that you do. I mean, you're involved with food pantry and also I believe the church you are a member of that you're
I volunteer at my church. I'm a member of St. Mary of the Lake in Miller, and it was a struggling church for quite some time. In fact, through the outreach committee and through Bishop Dale, who's phenomenal, in our congregation, we've been able to really turn it around. We had to raise a lot of money, and it wasn't just about money, but it was about participation and bringing the community together. So we've really kind of come back from the brink. I mean, we were going to be closed. So I spend time volunteering with them as much as I can. I just found out I'm on the board of directors for Opportunity Enterprises in Valparaiso.
You just found out?
I just found out. Yeah, I just found out.
Just
Yeah.
get a letter in the mail? Or?
Right. Well, I went through the application process. I'm still going through orientation, so
it's not
I haven't
like
officially attended my first board meeting yet. However, that's coming up this month.
That's an
Great.
awesome organization.
Oh,
Yeah, and
my
my
it's
daughter
incredible.
works for a very similar company.
Okay.
And she's very passionate about what she does. The
Yeah.
services for people who are mentally challenged, adults with autism.
Yep.
It just amazing, and that they form services out of that feeds the company in itself is just awesome.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's exciting. That is really, because it's a great organization. So
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
It-
so-
and I was honored. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I was honored even to be
congratulations.
asked. You know, and I got a tour of the facility and met the director, and it's just, you know, I mean, that's what I guess I hope that people do too, is that don't just look for these places that exist within our society, within our local society, that do such tremendous good, because there's so much negativity in the world right now, you know, and you have to look for hope, right? I mean, in places like Opportunity Enterprises, you know, Meals on Wheels, you know, food pantries, you know, a lot of schools. I mean, there are so many positive aspects going on right now. And if you just kind of open yourself up, and you don't have to give a ton, right? Just a little bit.
Right.
And Meals on Wheels is an hour a month, right? We make a donation. We make the donation. I'd be spending that money on leads anyway. Why not take that same money and give it to a nonprofit that's doing some good? You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, because if you truly care about whom your clientele is, regardless of what your business is, whether it's profit or nonprofit, then they know that you care about them, and they will send you their friends and family and whomever. And when they do that, why not make a little effort? You know, a little financial effort to spread the wealth. You know,
It keeps that community connection alive that is so sorely needed in our society today because of the social media, the political environment we're going through.
Everything.
I never saw the United States at friction with itself than I have now. It's just really disturbing in some ways, but this is a nice way of doing that, you know, helping out people within the community, and it rides above all that political mayhem that's going on. So, I mean, then you, I think you're in the Miller area, right?
yes, I live in Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Which-
wife. Yeah.
Which is a change community, but you know, you also get highly involved in the Gary area, that whole, which, oh man, I'm from Gary, born and raised in Gary, and my heart just weeps sometimes. You know, it's Miller is one of those areas that's kind of fortunate because it still has the beach area that has higher income folk and everything, but gosh, one block over, it is just decimated. It just and so What are your feelings about that? I know you're not originally from that area, but you're highly involved. Well, the church is
church
affected.
is in Miller.
The church is affected.
And that's where we do our best to kind of give back to the community and kind of get people involved. Because they have a lot of events, that they put on things that sometimes are fundraisers, sometimes they're not, but they also have their own food pantry at the church. And it's all donations from parishioners and just local residents, and then they do that on a monthly basis, and I mean it turns out really good, and it's a way to bring people in, because you have to open yourself up to help. Not everybody. I kind of look at it like this: if I was ever in a position where I needed some support, what if it wasn't there, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm fortunate enough right now where we're doing fine, and everybody always wants to do better, right? But there's so many people that don't have anything or very little, and speaking of opportunity enterprises, right? I mean, these are disabled adults that some of them need an excessive amount of support, and they have family members that have been taking care of them, ad nauseum for their whole lives, and it's a challenge, But yeah, back into the Miller area, we do what we can. We also have clothing drives, not just a food pantry. We do volunteer. We try to get people involved as much as possible and give back. So whatever we can do.
And I know a lot of people right now are very passionate about Gary, and they're going through some trying times
Yeah, they are.
politically and economically. The schools, oh my gosh, it just is disheartening.
Yeah,
it's very disheartening.
It's an absolute wreck.
The thing is, how many public schools do they actually have left in Gary? Is the crying shame.
Yeah, not that many.
It's a handful, and I remember back in the day in the '70s, all the Gary schools were not only sports meccas, but they West Side, Lew Wallace, Emerson, you go on, Roosevelt, all
Right.
of them. It just and now you look in and see what happened, and just I don't know. I pray for it every day, and hope that it turns, and that somehow, because it's a lakefront city, has a lot of possibilities. True, it's got the mill kind of obstructing the view of the lake, but still, there's a lot of lakefront property that's available in there, and the Miller area is kind of a shining hope in that whole area. So, but is there anything else before we move on? And anything? Oh, we show some pictures.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right,
All right.
go ahead.
Yeah. Hope you aren't too embarrassed, Tom.
No,
Oh, look at that handsome guy! I tell you.
that is a real tan, by the way.
Whoa, woo.
That's
Oh,
when
yeah.
I first opened. That's my official Allstate picture.
Oh, I thought real tans were orange.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, this is oh man, this is not going to turn out the way we wanted. But this is kind of a testimony, or no, this is
Yeah,
basically
so what-
telling about your
right.
agency.
Yeah. So that testimonial, where that came from, is one of our donation drives was for the Lake Area United Way, and we had done some things for some clients that one of them encouraged me to put this together in like a booklet form. Said I had to tell people what it is that we do. Real quick example. So her husband had an accident in Chicago Heights. She called me from work. She was in a panic. I said, okay, what happened? Told me what happened. Her husband was hit by somebody in a parking lot. She thinks the car's totaled. I said, okay. I gave him a call. I gave this gentleman a call. He was also in a panic. What do I do? I said, okay, let's take a deep breath. I said, are the police there? Yes. Okay, so you have a number to the police report? Yes. Tow truck's here. What do I do with my car? I said, just have them tow it, but where to? I said, just have them take it where it's going to be towed, and I'll meet you there. What? I said, I'll be right there. And you don't have to do that. I said, I've got it. It's fine. And then so I called his wife back because I didn't want her driving. She was an hour away.
Sure.
I'm
Well,
35
she's a
minutes away.
Crazy
right,
person,
right?
you're like,
Yeah, so I went and picked him up, and then she wanted me to talk him into going to the hospital because he's stubborn, like most men are.
Uh-huh.
So I tried to talk him into that, which he then ended up doing. And then he was kind of freaking out because he's in sales. He missed 3 appointments that day. He had sales the next day. I don't have a car. What am I going to do? I said, you just go to the hospital. I said, let me worry about that. And so I took him to his house, unloaded all of his stuff. He had all these crates in his car. I guess I didn't know what I was getting into. But yeah, so she took him to the hospital. And while we were in the hospital, I got him a rental car, and it was there for him by the time they got out.
Wow.
And so that's just one example of
Service.
but that's just one example of things that not just myself, but my customer service guy Jesse and my other guy Jason have done. So we're very old-fashioned in that regard. So when she told me that, we had this kind of closing event for Lake Erie United Way, and I just invited some of these clients that we've done some things for to come. So they voluntarily not only showed up, shared their story, had their picture taken, and allowed me to print this brochure out.
Yeah.
And we had won the 2016 Hobart Business of the Year from the volunteer work that we had done.
Lovely.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then so it all happened, kind of pretty simultaneously.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. That's a
all right.
description.
Here's the lovely
Free picture of
family.
my family.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those.
Look at
Yeah.
those boys are so handsome.
Thankfully, I've
Yeah.
lost weight since then.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
working
looking
on it
great,
now.
Tom.
Thanks, man,
tell
I
ya.
appreciate it.
You run every day, just about. I
Just
see.
about every day. Just
Yeah,
about every
cool.
day. It's not really running. It's more like plodding at my age, but I give it a shot.
I
I
run
know,
every
I
day,
hear ya.
straight to the ice cream truck and then straight again.
Now
Nice.
tell
nice.
about your T-shirt, that one that you.
Oh, I have this great T-shirt that I bought, and it says, "Does running late count as exercise?"
Nice.
But she just signed up with the trainer at the Lincoln Center.
In my first day, I
so
was
we
running
were late, and she
And I
had
should've
that
worn the-
T-shirt on.
I did. I
You
actually
did.
had
She
that
had
shirt
it on.
on and
Perfect.
didn't realize it.
So I
but-
told her trainer when we walked in, I said, "I'm sorry, she was looking for that
Running
shirt.
late,
That's why
yeah.
we're late."
That's hilarious.
So beautiful looking family, Tom.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. That's my wife
Great.
and my two sons, Jake and Gus.
Oh man, I
Very blessed.
Love those names.
Yeah. Oh, here's an interesting picture.
Yeah, so that's another one of my clients. And so, yeah, his story is in there and what we've done for him. So that, yeah, he's a great guy. And just
You
one
know
of
who
our
he
clients.
reminds me of? That guy that used to do the oatmeal commercials,
Oh,
Walter.
Oh, yeah. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, does he?
yeah, and dang it, now my brain's gonna be like, what's that guy's
Oh,
name?
you
That's okay.
Mrs. She knows
Yeah,
every.
well, I'll think of it.
Yeah. Walter Brimley.
No,
Is that-
Wilfred.
Wilfred.
Brimley.
And this is just another example of something that we had done for a client. This client, their home was broken into on a Sunday. He called me and just heard from his neighbor his garage door was open. I go over there. He actually had a break-in. They were over 3 hours away. Nobody had called the police. I called the police. I sat in his front porch to make sure nobody else was going to get in or everything was okay. Initiated the report with the police. Waited for him to come home. I went and got him and his wife something to eat because I knew they were going to be in a panic. They were driving away. And just stayed there the whole day with him and filed the claim and made sure everything was processed and met with him and the contractor and the adjuster and, yeah.
Cool. There's look at that handsome guy. Well, there's a
Okay,
little
thumbs up,
stubble
baby.
happening there.
Yeah, it's usual stubble. I tend to live that way. You guys caught me on a mostly clean-shaven day.
Huh.
So that was when I went to a client's house who had a claim. And that one was actually in Miller. She had a tree fall down on her fence.
Oh.
And so I was over there taking pictures and just meeting with her.
Oh man.
That was another one where we had the flooding relatively recently. So I had met the adjuster out at the home and made sure the client was fine, and yeah, it was not pleasant. But everything worked out great for him, thank God.
Yes.
Good. Oh, this is kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
a little orientation
That's
problem.
okay.
But actually, you're lying down, right?
No.
Yeah.
So that's when
Sometimes he lays down on the top.
repelled off the Centier building to raise money for Lake Erie United Way.
Oh, Mark Chase.
Yes.
That was one
Yeah.
of them that did that one.
It's called Over the Edge, and
Yeah.
yeah, Lake Erie United Way is another great organization. Obviously, they have one in Porter County as well, but it's just phenomenal organization.
On his way
Great.
down, he fell over.
Yeah, it was a little
That's what it
terrifying.
looks like.
There were people
Well, it
that were
looks like the building
playing
fell
around.
over, too.
People are playing around, making sure they're enjoying the scenery. Nope, I'm just trying to get down to the
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without looking at the bottom.
I think
that's-
that's the after effect. Yeah, so I wasn't completely. I lived, so that was good.
You have a camera on? No.
No, that's a harness,
A harness. Oh. All right.
And
I
I-
mean,
Oh, no, yeah, there's no
GoPro
helmet up
on
there.
your helmet, no.
right?
That would have been interesting to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to probably mute a lot of the commentary on the way down, right?
They would for me,
Right,
that's
exactly.
for sure.
Oh, and here's the
Oh, yeah.
tree that
Yep.
fell down.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was not pleasant.
And this is right by your office.
Yeah. Oh, I also belong to the Kiwanis. I also volunteer for them as much as I can. I'm a member of Kiwanis for Gary, and also Maryville. So one of the guys, Bruce, he's amazing. He's a great guy. That guy is more highly involved. He's like the other gentleman we were talking about.
Yes.
I think there's an organization out there that he doesn't belong to. Bruce, you're the man. So that's Bruce. Yeah, and that's when we just got back from delivering for Meals on Wheels.
And your office is right off of Ridge Road
Yep.
in Hobart,
Right behind the Paragon Restaurant.
Oh, okay.
or Golden Leaf
Next
Cigar
to the
Shop.
yep, right down from the cigar
you-
shop.
Whichever you choose to use as orientation.
Yes, sir.
And there
That's
you
just-
go.
Yep, that's just me in my office this morning.
Yeah, and that's you helping us out with the promotion. I feel bad about that, but you.
Oh, no, it's no big deal.
Usually do it.
And then there's a sign below the good hand symbol there that, we're a local for the food pantry, to
Oh.
donate. So.
Right.
But here's Tom, as I know him, just smiley, happy guy all the time, just all the time, right, Tom?
I try. I try.
Yeah. Well, gosh, we appreciate you coming on, and
Well, thanks for having me.
We love highlighting businesses, particularly. I know just being your Facebook friend and knowing you. Gosh, what better person to have on our show than someone who's so hyperly involved, and
Thank you.
it's neat. It's really so. We appreciate you coming on, and
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for
yeah.
having me.
You.
And this particular show, we're trying to highlight as many people as possible that go out in the community and
do
help
good.
out and do good, and whether it's through your business or what have you. And if any of you know someone that you would like to nominate to be on our show, please let us know. We'd love to tell their story and get it out there. And because Kelly and I are all positive about Highland, Griffith area, or
Northwest
beyond,
Indiana.
Northwest Indiana, or as our show description says, Northwest Indiana, Chicago land, and beyond. And that could be intergalactic as well. So if you do have alien friends, just contact them, and Kelly can act as their interpreter.
You should put the Beastie Boys soundtrack in the back, Intergalactic. That'd be a good
Yeah,
idea.
that'd be
That'd be
awesome.
a
Get
good
away
idea.
with that. That would be
Yeah,
great.
yeah. With Facebook, they're
Yeah.
kind of tight on copyright violations, and so we have to sing our own songs.
There you go.
Yeah, we
Hey,
just make 'em up.
one last thing I wanted to mention. Oftentimes we'll get calls in to people that have questions about insurance. I have no problem answering anybody's questions on insurance. I had a guy call in this morning. People don't understand insurance, and sometimes you just have questions. And maybe they're not even going to be our clients, but they're just confused. We encourage people to call us with that too, because it can be a difficult situation. I mean, if you become uninsured for some reason and want to know, how do I get back? What do I do? How do I fix this, right? Or how do I handle this kind of a claim? I mean, anything like that. Even if you're not my client, give us a call.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I test to him.
And what would that phone number be?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
For our
Give us your
audience so that they
information.
know.
Yeah.
That-
So my phone number is 219-224-41. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me start over. 219-224-3244. That's our office number. 219-224-3244. You can also call me on my cell phone. All my clients have it. Believe me, that's how they got hold of me on Saturday night, which is fine. My cell phone number is 219-545-5554. 219-545-5554.
And look him up on Facebook as
Yep,
well.
I'm on Facebook. Yep, look me up on Facebook. Like us.
Yeah. Do you have a Facebook page for your business?
I do.
On top of that, okay.
I do. Yeah.
And is that what is the, is it your name?
Yep.
and
Tom
also-
Wisch Agency, Allstate in Hover.
Right. So
Perfect.
do that, and gosh, I'm telling you, I wish I had an agent like you. And then
You
haven't had a
still
need for
could.
one.
That's right. Hello.
You like that segue into the sales pitch?
yeah.
Did you like that?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's why he's the guy.
Yeah, by all means, contact him if he's located right off of 51 and Ridge Road there, Route
Yeah.
6.
Please.
And
We'd love to hear
by all
from
means,
you.
and just stop in sometime.
Say hi. We like visitors too. You don't have to buy anything. Come on in.
Just come in and go,
There you
hey,
go.
we saw you on the Bill and Kelly show.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, yeah, you're now a celebrity, Tom.
That's right.
Wow, I don't know how to take that. All right, that's awesome.
Well, we've pushed a lot of people away to keep people who are active in the community. We've named many celebrities that's been waiting down there.
I know. There's
Just
all
keep
kinds.
pushing back, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. We
know.
have other important people to talk to.
That's right. Well, all right, with that, we will close out the show. And Tom, again, appreciate you coming and spending some time
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thanks
And,
for having me.
Oh, no problem. We love having you. And with that, we wish you all a safe rest of the week. And
Enjoy this weekend that's coming
oh,
up.
it's gonna be
gonna
beautiful.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, don't blame me.
You gave him the weather report to read in detail. So
That's right.
You know.
So you should know what's coming up. Yeah. All right. And
Yeah.
then we will see you next week, either at WBLP, 11 o'clock on Wednesday, Spotlight on the Arts at noon on Wednesday, Wild Rose Brewing, 7 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday, or back here at SIP next Thursday at 1.
Again, we mentioned this last night, but Mark Roscoe is going to be on next
That's right.
Wednesday. Oh man, we're
Fashion
kind of excited
designer
about
to the
this.
stars, baby.
Yeah, he. It's kind of interesting. Like I said, he's a prominent attorney in the Portage. He's got an office in Portage, but all over Porter County. But what he's more known for across the United States is a clothing designer
Fashion
for
designer. Celebrity.
events. You know, in fact, one of our friends, he's doing her gowns. That have done it for years, and that's the Silver Lining Foundation.
For Sandy Goldberg.
Sandy Goldberg, thank you.
Yeah, it's good for him. What's
Yeah.
her face?
They're gonna have they're gonna
I know
have
a lot of people like that.
they're gonna have a gala for me to support my cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, mental deficiency.
Yeah. Well,
So with that, I have a great rest of the week and great weekend. Again, thank you, Tom. I hope
Thank
you
you.
have a great weekend. We'll see most of you next week. Goodbye for now.
Take care, guys.